Hello, good morning. Good morning, Abigail. Good evening, Yanis. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? We are very happy to be here with you today. Good evening, Yanis. Good morning, Abigail. How do you do today? Today I thought to open with a question. Simple question. What brought you here? To the podcast, to listening to podcasts, to lessons, to Discord. When did you first time met the notion of that this space exists? If you wished, you can share with us what brought you here. This is just an entry point. If you would like to share your experience, you're most welcome. Because it seems everybody has his way or his turn or his movement in life that brought him or her here. Before you share, and if you feel it's the right place to share, via microphone or via text, this is your choice. This is just an offering. I would like to share with us 2 verbs in Hebrew. One of them is control, shalat. Shalat, the root letters are shalat, control. Control, shalat. This is the negation of the, not a negation, how the conjugation of the verb in the past. Shalat. Yes. And another verb, shamat, to drop down. Shamat, shamat, to drop. To drop. To drop. Dropping something. Yes. Shalom, Abigail. We are very happy to see you here today. So there is a verb called shalat. Shalat, from the verb shalat, we have shilton, governing, shlita, control, remote control. Shalat, shin, lamed, tet. And we have another verb, shamat, shamat, to drop down everything. The second verb, shamat, this is the stem letters of the word shmita. Have you heard the term shmita? To drop down everything once in 7 years, shmita. Shmita, have you heard the word shmita? To let the land rest in the 7th year. Have you heard the term shmita? So in a way we have 2 verbs that in a way opposite to each other. There is a sense of control, shalat, shalat, and there's a sense of we're not in charge. This is shmita. Everything drops. Yes? So we have shalat, to control. From this we even have the remote control. In Hebrew we say shalat. One word, shalat, remote. Yes? And we have shamat, to drop down, because there is a realization of we are not in control. Now the question is, if we are not in control, Who is in control, or what you think? If we are not in control, yes, we drop down everything because it's not in our hands. What is happening really there? This is an open question to you to answer. What is happening? Does it depend on us, life here on earth, the sunrise, dependent on our activity, the sunset, the coming of stars, the growth of the trees, the plants, the flower, the flight of a bird? Yes, it's not dependent on our thought, on our activity in the world. Yes, this is Shemitah. We're not in control. The sense that we are, so to speak, in control is a false sense. But we have it, all of us. This is a mechanical activity that convinces us that we are in control. Yes, and there's a cure for this mechanical thinking. This is Shemitah, to drop everything because we are not in control. Questions so far? Do we understand the relation between control and Shemitah? Shalat and Shamat, do we understand the relation between the two verbs, Shalat and Shamat? To control and to drop. This idea that even if we are not even in remote control, we're not in control at all. So, why do we bring this topic of Shemitah, to drop down everything and let everything rest? Yes, once in 7 years, 6 years, there is a cultivation of the land. Yes, and in the 7th year, we drop down the cultivation and we let the land rest. Yes, and the land regain its power, not to use it too much. We are here in a way in the counting of the Omer. Have you heard the term of counting the Omer? Sfirat HaOmer? Have you heard this before? Yes. Yes, but yes, do not understand. No, no. So there is the Passover. Let's start, yes, with the beginning. Passover. Have you heard the name Passover or Pesach? Have you heard the name of Passover before? Does it ring a bell? Passover? Have you heard this term before? Yes. Yes. So there is Passover, celebration in the evening, and then there's the day after. This is considered to be like a Shabbat, a holy day. Nothing is happening, but there is a counting of the Omer. What is the Omer? Omer is a portion. Omer is a portion. Portion. Measure. Portion. Omer is a measure or a portion. Yes. Usually in the time of spring, what comes up in the field is barley. And in Passover, this is the time of the harvest of barley, like it is mentioned in the book of Ruth, when they returned to Bethlehem. Ruth and Naomi are returning to Bethlehem after 10 years in the field of Moab. The time of which they arrive back or return to Bethlehem lechem, this is the time of harvesting the barley. Ktsir seorim, harvesting the barley. This is the last verse of Ruth chapter 1. They enter or return to Beth Lechem, and the time of the year that they are returning to Beth Lechem is the time of harvesting the barley. The barley is similar to wheat, but not wheat. The wheat will be ready only in June, in Shavuot, 7 weeks after. Yes? Therefore, also barley considered to be the food of the cattle. Seorim, barley, is the food of the cattle, the cows. Barley usually do not feed human. Wheat, when we process the wheat, it will become a bread. And bread, this is the food of man. But barley, this is the food of the cattle. So there are 7 weeks. Have you heard this term before? 7 weeks between Passover and Shavuot. Shavuot. Have you heard this before? The 7 weeks counting between Passover, April and June. Yes. So there is a counting of 7 weeks. There is a counting of 7 weeks before, because we are not ready. Yes. There is, in a way, Passover. This is the Exodus, going out from Egypt, going out of slavery. But there is a need of preparation in time that will prepare us to receive the 10 Commandments or the unity. So if slave goes out of Egypt, immediately he's out of Egypt, but his mindset is not ready yet, yes, to receive the notion of unity. So therefore, there is a need of preparation time, and the preparation time is the length or the duration of 7 weeks. 7 weeks between Passover to Shavuot or to Pentecost. This is 7 times 7. This is 7 times 7. This is 49 plus 1. This is the Jubilee. So 50 days of 50 considered to be the mind of freedom or the liberated mind. The liberated mind lives beyond space and time. This is not brain. This is liberated mind, a mindset. So there is a counting of 7 weeks between Passover and Pentecost. Those days, or 49 days, in which we count the Omer. Yes? Omer is a measure or a connection. Depends of how we count it. Omer is also a name for few sheaves coming together. Few sheaves, if you remember the painting of Van Gogh, yes, in the field, there's like few sheaves together, bundle in one, let's say, stack. This is Omer. Union in a way. So Omer is a measure, yes, but also Omer means a union of few sheaves together, because we still see ourselves as separated human beings. Yes? So there is a process of purification, of counting 49 days from the Exodus, from going out of Egypt until we are ready to receive, in a way, or to be ready to accept that everything is one. It's a process. This is a duration in time. Do we understand that? Yes, the Shavuot is, yes, the holiday which we usually celebrate in beginning of June or in the Pentecost. This is the offering of the first fruit. So between Passover and offering the first fruit, there are 7 weeks. 7 weeks, so 49 days plus 1. This is the Jubilee. Jubilee is a symbol for a liberated mind, a mind that never was a slave. Yes, never fell into slavery. So those 49 days or 50 days are in a way marking the duration of in time that there is a need to prepare for unity, because it doesn't come in a snap of a finger. Yes, so there is a duration in time, therefore there is a counting of 7 weeks. So that if you are familiar with the Sfirot, yes, the spheres of the tree of life, there are 7 lower spheres in space and time: Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, yes, grace, overcoming, and beauty, and so on. And each week is parallel to one, yes, of the 7 lower spheres. Yes, this is how the counting goes. So in the 7 days of Pesach, 7 days of Pesach, of Passover, there is a counting of 7 days of sphere of Chesed, and then the second week after Passover, there's a counting of 7 days in Gevurah, and so until we reach the 50 days, and then there's a Pentecost, or offering the first fruit, or celebrating the 10 Commandments. Yes, so there is a need to prepare, and the counting is preparation. And what do we prepare? Each time when we count the Omer, each day when we count the Omer, we see inside that there's like leftovers of slavery, yes, of duality, yes, of a bit of grudge of what happened. So in a way, there's a cleanup. The counting in a way symbolizes the cleanup. Every day there's a cleaning. So therefore there is a counting every day. In the evening before the sunset, they say today is such and such, 3rd day to the Omer, or 5th day to the Omer. And when we reach the 49th day, which is 7 times 7, this is in a way celebrating of Shavuot or Matan Torah. Yes, Chag HaBikurim, the offering of the first fruit, and so. But there is a duration in time which is needed to bridge those 2 points. Going out of slavery is one thing, yes, but to prepare to the mind of the one takes time. We have, in a way, to clean up ourselves from any connection to space and time, which marked by 7 times 7. This is what God told Cain. If you remember, if you have questions, or if you feel that you don't really understand, please go ahead and ask. In a way, Passover, or going out of Egypt, the Exodus, is like the legend about, how do you call this in English? In Hebrew they call it lichluchit. 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 There is a beautiful legend. I'll try to see Yes, yes, I understand, Yanis. 1 second. How do we call this legend? Yes. 1 second. 1 second. I am looking into the name of English to explain the going out of Exodus. Cinderella. This is it. Cinderella. Cinderella. So going out from Egypt, the Exodus is like a Cinderella. This is a moment, and suddenly the chariot, the pumpkin becomes a chariot, and the prince comes, and there's a beautiful moment. At night, everything becomes magical. This is the night of Passover. But in the day, we see that we are not ready yet for liberation. Therefore, there is a duration in time which is needed to prepare. And it takes 49 days. Yes. And what do you mean God told Cain? Yes, Cain did not bring his first fruit. Yes, yes. God said he would have been accepted it if he had. Abel brought his first. Yes. So you see, Cindy, you found a relation between the first fruit and what God told Cain. Yes. There is a fearful sentence that Cain expressed in front of God, that if somebody will find me, or the one who will find me and will understand or notice that I killed Abel, he will kill me. So God, in a way, put a mark on Cain's head that nobody will kill him. And God says something in relation to the word 7 or number 7. So it is true, the connection is that Cain did not bring the first fruit or his best. He thought that he is owning everything. Therefore, he did not bring the first. Yes, and in a way, all of us are. Yeah. So we need a preparation to bring the first. The thing is, if we think that we own something, it means that there are two. If a person or someone thinks, he or she, that he owns something, an object or a job, it means that there are two. And there's no duality, cannot have someone. Yes, or have something, because having implies of two. Where is the number 7 in the story of Cain? One second, I'll bring it. 1 second. Everything sits on the 7 in regarding to Cain. 1 second. This is Genesis 4:15. 4:15, Genesis 4:15. Genesis 4. One second. Here. Let's bring it here to the text, and you will be able to see it. 4:15 here. Genesis 4:15. Gen 4:15. You can see how the number 7 is related to Cain from the beginning. Yes, 4:15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whoever slays Cain, yes, shall be taken on him. Yes, you see 7 times. You see this? Sevenfold Shivatayim, sevenfold. Shivatayim. Do you see the connection or not yet? Do you understand the connection between the speech of God to Cain and the counting of 7 or not yet? Good. Any questions? We were mentioning that in Passover, this is the time of harvesting the barley. And the barley, in a way, is the food of the cattle of the animal, while wheat is the food for human. So there is a process, because there is a graduation. We're not immediately human, because first there's a beast coming. So do you understand? How does it go? Do you understand the relation between barley and wheat, cattle and human? Do you understand the parallel thinking? Or not yet? The barley is spring, yes, as says the Bible, because the barley is spring. But the barley is not the food of human. I didn't know this difference. Like, yes, barley, yes, yes. From barley also beer is being made from barley. This is considered to be the cattle's food, not humans' nourishment. And there's a process of 7 weeks, so duration in time, until the wheat is ready for harvest. And the wheat, this is the food for men. Therefore, the 10 commandments are being given when the wheat or the harvest of wheat is ready. Do we understand the connection between a liberated mind, the 10 commandments, and the harvest of the wheat, and also the offering of the first fruit? Do we understand? Yes, yes, that's correct. Yes, yes, yes. The mind is yes, yes. From the beast, yes, this is it. This is it. Exactly, Yanis. This is it. So there is a process, again, of preparation. Yes, because first the beast is being born, and then there is a sense of, how shall we say this, refinement and cleansiness or clean up until it is ready to be a human. This is the process which is happening from Passover until Shavuot, Matan Torah, or the first fruit offering in June. Those are 7 weeks between April to June usually, in which everything is happening. And this, or how do you see the 7 times 7, or the 49 days? Where do you see this pattern again? Where do you find this pattern? Where? 7 times 7. Where do you find this? This is a beautiful theme, because it is not just happening in the realm of weeks during the year. It also appears in counting of the years themselves, because cycle of 7 times 7, yes, because every 7 year. Yes, yes, yes. So there is also a process called Shemitah. Shemitah, let the land rest in the 7th year. And this happens once in 7 years. 6 years there is a cultivation of the land. The 7th year the land is rest. And then there is continuity. And 7 cycles, yes, of this counting, we have a jubilee. Not just a jubilee, which is 50 year rest to the land. This is another period or another mindset for humans, because every jubilee, every 50 years, there is a new software running. Yes, this is just a symbolic counting that every 50 years there's a new world coming. What do you mean a new world? Not a new mountain, a new river, but there is a new perception how people perceive the world. This happens or coming every 50 years. The 50th years is the jubilee to free. This is a concept, yes. The 50 year, yes, is a jubilee. The 50 years is called jubilee, Yovel, jubilee, and this word Yovel stands, or freedom stands for the, how do you say, liberation from the mind of slavery. The mind of slavery is the mind or the brain of duality. Yes, a person can think that he owns something. He can be very rich. He can be multimillionaire. And he thinks that he owns 10,000 airplanes and 10,000 aircraft because he thinks that he owns all of this. It means he is a slave. He doesn't have the mindset of a free man. Do we understand? Every person, everyone who thinks that he owns something, he can be a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire, but the fact that inside of his brain he thinks that he owns something, even in the bank it's written that he owns all the boats, all the airplanes, all the trains. If he thinks that he owns all of this, this is a mindset of a slave. Do we understand this example? It doesn't matter how much money he has in his bank account or how many servants he has, but the fact that he thinks that he owns all of this, it means that he has a mind of a slave or a brain. Good. The Jubilee, in a way, is a symbol for liberation, a liberated mindset, which is not, in a way, is conditioned in space and time. This is the meaning of the Jubilee. Yes, a letting go. Yes, this is it. Yes, we just mentioned it in the beginning of the conversation. There is shalat, to control. The verb shalat in Hebrew is to control. Shalat. Shalat means to control. And there's shamat, to drop. This is the meaning of Shemitah. Also, shamat is to drop. To drop, to let go. Second English, to drop, to let go, letting go, letting go. Yes, to think, yes, to think that we own anything is to control and forget the source. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, the great freedom is to accept that we don't have anything in control or we don't own anything. So, in the cycle of the year, there's a 7 times 7, the cycle of counting of the Omer. In the cycle of 1 year, there's a counting of 49. And the same pattern we have in counting the years, because a cycle of 7 times 7, we have 49 years plus 1. This is the Jubilee. And we can see that in a way, if we look into through historical lens, we can see that every 50 years we have a different perception of what life is. Yes? There's a new world coming. Not because a man announced it in the parliament or in the White House, because this is how it comes. Because we are incapable of thinking free thoughts. So every 50 years there's a new world coming, and humanity is flooded with new stream of thoughts or how to live life, meaning there is a natural living life, but the way life will appear or the phenomenon, yes, is coming from this mindset or the structure. What day is this day 13? What do you mean, Cindy? What do you mean by the question? Oh, from Passover to Shavuot there are 49 or 50 days. This is the question? I'm not sure this is the right question, but I'm not sure that I understand. What day is today in the Omer? Today, okay. Yes, today, yes. Now I understand. 1 second. Today is 11 days, which is 1 week and 4 days of the Omer. 26 of Nisan. It says 26 of Nisan. Yes, 11 days. This is May 4th. Today is May 4th, which is 11 days, yes, which is 1 week and 7 days of the Omer. Yes, 11, which is 1 week and 4 days. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. You can ask Google. It will tell you which day is today in the counting of the Omer. Google will tell you. Yes, it will tell you the date, the day in the month. This is May 4th, and how much counting is it with the Omer counting. Questions? Those days, we can look now in the North Hemisphere. This is spring, but it's not yet summer. June and the harvest of the wheat, this is in a way the beginning of summer, and this passage between spring to summer, this is a passage or the corridor. Yes, this is Sfirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer. The days are getting longer. Some hours are warmer, but it's not yet summer. It's in a way the weather is unstable. Yes? It's not constant. Yes, yes, it's not stable here. You, it's amazing that you say you speak of storms, because barley we say seora. One second, barley. I'm not sure that I'm writing, but please correct me if I'm mistaken in the English spelling. Seora. Okay, and we say in Hebrew seora is barley. One second. Thank you, Cindy. Seora. One second. Seora. Se-o-ra. Seora, this is barley. And it sounds like se'ara. Se'ara is storm. Very good. Storm. It's not stable. Storm or stormy weather is not stable. It will stabilize in June. Yes, like a person with a mindset with a one. Yes, it's stable. It sits. So this period there's a lot of wind that comes from the Mediterranean all the time, is blowing, and you cannot walk on the shore. It's not stable. If you go, you it goes into the back, and then you're gone, just to go against the storm. Or this is unstable period of the year. By the way, in terms of when we look at the zodiac, yes, like the path to freedom. When we look at the zodiac, excellent. April has the Aries, which is an animal, and then May, which is the bull, yes, or the Taurus. And June has, in a way, the twin. This is human. This is because there's a way also to look at this is also some kind of a lens that Weinreb brings. He wrote a book about it, the Hebrew, in a way, astrology he calls it. There are three kinds of, in a way, signs. Yes, there's like animals and there's animals, humans, and he calls it fruit or something. So April is marked by Aries, and May by the Taurus, the bull, both having 4 legs on the ground. Yes, and June or summer starts with twin. This is more like human, walking on 2. In a way, the fact that the animal walks on 4, the head of the animal is also always parallel. The head of the animal looks at the ground, doesn't look up to the sky like man when he is standing. He can look up. The animal is like 4 legs on the ground, looking at the ground. Yes. Does bull mean Baal, or Baal means owner? Baal means owner. Yes, Baal means owner, Cindy. Yes, yes. Living the Baal, understanding. Yes, yes. Nebuchadnezzar started crawling like an animal. Yes, 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 yes. He was eating, yes, he was eating the grass like an animal. Yes, yes, yes. If we look upon a life of a baby that comes from the womb, first is being born, and after he comes from the birth, there's someone who holds the baby in the arms, feed him, then he lies in his bed, in his cradle. But there's a stage of a baby that he is crawling, yes, on the floor. You remember this stage, the stage of a baby, like 4 on the ground. This is a process. Say crawling, shall I say this in English? 1 second. So this is not just the stage in a baby life, it's also states, it's a mental stage in human as well. To crawl, yes. This is a reptile part. Yes, the baby has this stage too, on 4. Questions so far? The number 7 also connects, yes, like Cinderella, she was always the king's daughter, but Egypt alive. Yes, yes, yes. The number 7, Sheva, 7, yes, yes, 7, 7, 1 second, 7, this is Sheva. לשבת is to sit. לשבת is to sit. We speak about set, the mind is settled. Yes, to set. We speak about when we operate computers, sometimes we need to reset. Yes, reset the computer, reset the system. This is the same thinking which is happening in Shemitah or in Jubilee or in counting of the Omer. There's a reset. There's a need of reset everything. Because there's no sitting, like stormy season, yes, or this is the time of harvesting the barley. Yes, and the barley is the food of cattle, and the cattle behaves according to instinct. Yes, what is the instinct? To run away from suffering and to stick with the pleasure. This is duality. What is the life of a cattle or a beast? To run away from unpleasant thing and to stick with what? With the pleasures of life. This is duality. This is a life of a cattle. This is a life of a beast. This is the form of duality. And human is neither. This is in the middle, like the Aleph of Adam is Adam, human here. Adam, human. Yes. So we have Aleph in the beginning. This is the secret, the unseen spirit, which is the soul animates us. And then we have Dam. Yes. Dam is blood, but also the value of Dam is 44. This is in a way duality, 44. And then comes the Aleph that negates it. This is non-blood and non-duality. Adam, basically, it means also non-duality. Non-duality, because Dam is 44. This is a dual even number. Adam, non-duality. Non-duality, because also we have the same mechanism like a beast or like a cattle. It's the same mechanism: eating, sleeping, reproducing. Stick with pleasure run out from suffering is the same mechanism that the beast, the animal, and the cattle have. It's like human. It's the same mechanism. But Adam, human, is what? Non-duality. He is none of these. He is Adam, a speaking spirit. Yes, a speaking spirit. What is the characterization of Adam, of human, is a speaking spirit. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, that's correct, Cindy. That's correct. That's correct. It's rather to have this moment of painful moment that has truth in it. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. So by the name Adam, it means non-duality. The one which is not blood, the one which is not multiplied, because dam, blood, what happens when we make a test of pregnancy? What do we see? What the doctors are counting in pregnancy test? The hormone in the blood that shows there's multiplication of blood cells. Yes, this is how the measuring if there's a pregnancy, they measure the hormone in the blood that testifies on what? An overwhelming growth of blood cells. This is the meaning of positive to pregnancy. Yes? So what is Adam? Aleph, non-duality. Not blood, not just multiplying. Do we understand this concept? Good. Good. If you have questions, go ahead and ask. This is the time. If you have something to say, you can open your microphone or unmute and speak as well. This is also an option. Yes. What brought me here? Yes. Wanted to learn the Hebrew language to understand the Bible in its original language. Picked up many Hebrew words today. Thank you, Yanis. I'm very happy to see you writing here and participating here. Thank you so much. So today we learned slightly about the counting of the Omer, those 7 special weeks. Everything is tense, is not ready, it's between things, like a swing. Yes, a swing weather and a swing, ups and downs, storms, sun, clouds, sometimes rain, sometimes heat waves. Yes, until everything will stabilize. Yes, non-duality. So, thank you so much for being with us today. Wishing you a beautiful weekend. And see you soon on Monday with the counting of the Omer. Thank you so much and Shabbat Shalom.